going to compare for you the original BB cream from Garnier, which is the Miracle Skin Protector, all in one, the one that was just for kind of regular skins, whatever, and the new combination to oily skin BB cream. So it doesn't specifically say on the original one that it's for dry skin or whatever, but I did used to find that I felt quite shiny, and I don't know, lots of people, because I would recommend it a lot. I used it for 6 months to a year, like absolutely, that is all I used. And my skin definitely saw an improvement because I wasn't using really heavy foundations all the time. It was moisturised and there are skincare benefits, but lots of people said it's too thick, it's too shiny, it's too dark, it's too whatever. And there were lots of people that didn't like it for those reasons. And then a lot of other people saying it's nothing like the original BB creams. Now, I'd just like to get that out of the way. First and foremost, I have never tried an original BB cream. Like the Asian BB creams, never tried anything like them. These actually are the only BB creams I have ever tried. No, that's not true. I have tried a different brand's one, but because it was so dark, I couldn't really give it a really good go. So still, I would still say I've really not ever tried anything properly, because I've only ever used these for long enough to properly review them. So I'm going to talk to you about the original briefly, because I have got a full video on that, we'll link below. My kind of first impressions originally. I was obsessed with this, I absolutely loved it, and although it was quite moisturising, I've always had to use a powder over top of foundations anyway, and then because I was pregnant when I bought this, my skin tended to get a little bit drier, and it was getting drier and drier as my pregnancy progressed, and after I'd had Milo it was still quite dry, and only now is it getting oilier again. And I think that this kind of just came at the right time for me for all of those things, like because it was more moisturising and that's what I needed. The main reason I stopped using this was I was actually quite dark, and I thought that it matched me really well, and I think it was probably on a tutorial or something where I saw myself on camera applying it that I realised it was a shade or two too dark for me. And several people had said to me on YouTube, this might be a bit dark for you, but you know, you ignore those kind of things because people say mean things just for the sake of it. Whereas when I seen it for myself, I thought, yeah, it probably is. I took some before and after pictures with this originally and was so impressed because it says blurs imperfections, smooths fine lines, blah blah blah, and I thought I really did see that improvement that was promised, and it really did kind of just made everything look a bit more in soft focus. So if you have drier skins, if you are someone with drier skin, I would definitely recommend that you give this a go, because this was a fantastic product. It definitely helped my skin clear up, and just in general it looked better because I wasn't using a real full coverage foundation all the time. It was just more like a tinted moisturiser, and I would say this is very much like a tinted moisturiser. But the new one, so if you didn't like this and you've tried this before and you didn't like it, the new one is a completely different animal. This is full combination to oily skin, so it's oil free, and it's much lighter. This is perfect for my skin tone. This is a touch dark, and this is a lot lighter. So if you didn't like the other one because it was too dark, try this. And they are both light, but this is just lighter. I don't know if it's the different formula that makes it appear lighter, but it just is lighter. I took some pictures on my blog, but I will swatch them for you in a second. And you can see all the before and afters and the comparison in my blog, which I'll link below. This one says blurs pores and imperfections and all the same stuff, moisturisers, and it says it's got anti-shine, which I would agree with because I actually applied this and forgot to put powder on one day. And I found with this that if you don't apply powder, it gives kind of a matte-ish effect. I think you probably still need to do your T-zone if you are oily combination skin, which is what this is supposed to be for. But I think that it works better if you don't powder it, because throughout the day, as you get shiny, it seems to kind of mattify itself again. I've used this without powder, I've used this with powder, and I think it works better without powder. But let me know if you've used it, tried it yourself, tried that kind of before and after with and without powder, and let me know what you thought, because that's just my personal experience, and I did think that it worked better without powder, which I would say never would I have agreed with that in the past. Never. I'm big on powder. Another difference between these two is this has got SPF 15, this has got SPF 20. I don't know about the flashback because I wouldn't use either of these in the night time because it's not mega full coverage. They are still quite light. But again, a big difference. This is full on light coverage. This is tinted moisturiser kind of coverage, whereas this is more light to medium and it is buildable. So you can actually build this up to be quite a high coverage for a BB cream. If you're comparing the two, this is like, it's just a completely different product. They probably should have just called it a foundation because it's much, much more like a foundation. I didn't find it to be very moisturising. So although I was using oil-free moisturisers, I was still using a moisturiser underneath this because I felt that it was drying my skin out a little bit. Part of the reason for that is it's got quite high content of alcohol included in this. When you first apply it, I got this first waft, let's say, of nail polish remover, and I thought, oh, what's that? What is that smell? And I realised because it was oil-free and because of what it was targeted at, it must have been this. And when I looked in the box, it's quite high up there in the ingredients list, alcohol. So it is quite drying, and my skin, it just can't decide what it wants to be at the moment. If you have very oily skin, I think you'll love this. But if it's combination and it can be dry, it can be oily, I would be careful because this has dried my skin out a little bit. But when I'm very oily, it's amazing. So just be kind of on the safe side with that. I'll show you the actual formulas in the tube. Another difference between them is the oil-free's got 10 mils less, which is a little bit annoying because they're both the same price. I've bought all of my BB creams for £6 or £7 when they're on offer, but they are supposed to be £9.99. And this is 40ml and this is 50ml. That being said, I think you do need a little bit less of this than you do of this, so because it is a higher coverage. So maybe it does work itself out, I don't know. But this lasts me a really, really long time. This is a completely full one, and I have half of one, and I have one that I've used already. But they last a really long time, maybe 6 months. So we'll see how this one goes, and whether or not it really does work out the same kind of value. But the actual consistency is completely different. This is super thick. On my original review, which again I'll link below, of this particular original one, I compared it to different kind of foundation textures, and it's thicker than anything else that I have with regard to foundation. Much closer to, ooh, see, this is so liquidy, it's dripping out of the tube. It would be better in a pump, really. It's going to be difficult to show you because it's going to drip, but that real thick one there is the original, and this one that's dribbled all over my hand is the oil-free. And they are just completely different. And you can see the difference in shade, hopefully, that this is considerably darker than the new one. So, like I say, if you have tried the original, you didn't like it because it was too dark, it was just not right for you, I would absolutely recommend that you give the new one a go because I love it. I've not used anything since I bought it. It's my new favourite base. And given that I am about to go back to work, or I will be back at work when you see this video, I think that it's going to last me a lot longer than an average foundation, let alone a tinted moisturiser or a BB cream. I actually prefer this to my Bourjois serum, just because it does give me that kind of matte look, but it also has a lot more longevity, which I was not expecting, because I was expecting it to be an oil-free version of a tinted moisturiser. It's just so difficult to get across to you how different these two things are. So although they are effectively both Garnier BB creams, they are totally different formulas, completely different textures, completely different consistencies. And if you've tried one and you don't like it, try the other one because it's like night and day. When I do these reviews, I really should make notes because I always miss something out. But I think I've covered everything. They are the same price. The oil-free is slightly less volume, but I think it might work out as similar kind of value. I don't really know why they've made one more SPF than the other, and little bits of differences I don't really understand why. I don't know if it's just because this is the newest one and then this will catch up and this will then have higher SPF in the future, I don't know. But yeah, I really like this, and I was a massive fan of this. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know this was a huge favourite of mine last year. But as my skin has got oilier again, this has definitely come in handy, and this is going to be my new favourite foundation. You will definitely see this in my favourites this month. I missed it out of, did I mention it last month? I can't remember. I'd only had it for a week, so I wasn't going to talk about it, but I can't remember if I did. But I would definitely recommend you give this a go. Cannot stress that enough. Really need to wash my hands now, so I'm going to end the video there. But yeah, I hope that you try this. I hope that you love it, at least one of them. And the oil-free is hands down my absolute favourite base of the moment. So if you do have oily skin or combination skin, virgin not oily, then please go and give it a go because I think you will love it. And I will see you in my next video. Sorry if I missed anything out, but I will link my blog post below where I was a lot more thorough and it's a little bit more easy to understand because I've written it all down in points. And you can see before and afters, etc, etc. But yeah, again, like I said in my last video, if you've got any requests, please let me know. And I will probably have uploaded some kind of vlog by now about going back to work. So if you want to see that, if it's up, I'll link it below, or I'll just link my vlog channel for you to go and follow. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.